Hey, Ancient Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. We're going to do a little bit of transplanting today. It is still really early in the season, so we are in late March. We have not yet reached April, but it's time for us to start thinking about what we're going to be putting in our garden. Now, if you have a greenhouse at home, this is an excellent opportunity for you to get a little bit of a jump start on your summer garden. So what we're going to work with today are tomato starts. So this is a fairly young tomato start. This one is early girl. With this tomato, you can see you have your first set of leaves, you've got your first primary, and then we've got a plant that is growing. It's got a nice open canopy on there. But in my opinion, it's just a little bit light green. I'd like to see it a little bit darker, which means we should really get some fertilizer on this. Now, the other thing you'll see is this is in a 3.5-inch pot, which is okay when you're growing in a greenhouse for production, but after a few weeks, every tomato that is in a greenhouse needs to be potted up to the next size. Nurseries like to get rid of these before they have to pot them up, because anytime you handle them or pot them up, it's more money to the nursery. So let's get these potted up here in our greenhouse so we can get a better start on these and have quicker tomatoes. So we can get away from those tomatoes that come from the grocery store that taste like nothing and get some nice sun-ripened tomatoes in our garden. So today I've got 7 different tomatoes. I've got an early girl, I've got some Romas, a Burpee Big Boy, a Goliath, and an Ace 55. So what we're going to do is we're going to plant these all up. And we have some larger, these look like about 5-inch square pots. We're going to go ahead and put those in there and then put them in here in our greenhouse so that they can keep growing. And then hopefully when the weather warms up, we can get them outside into one of our raised beds. All right, let's get you close so you can see what's going on and start planting up these tomatoes. So we're going to go fairly quick on these tomatoes. I'm going to move those pots off to the side. We are using a reused pot, so there is a little bit of remnant potting soil in there. But what we need to do is figure out how deep we're going to plant this into our container. So with this, you'll notice that the level of the soil that's there brings it up to about that high. So I want to make sure my soil is full right about where the bottom of that small 3.5-inch pot is. So I'm going to go ahead and add some soil in there, shake it down, put it about there, and that's about the right height for me to now begin transplanting. So just like everything else, we're going to go ahead and pull the tag. We're going to take our 2 fingers like we live long and prosper, put them on other side of that plant stem, squeeze twice, and then release our plant from that. Now, tomatoes can be planted a little bit deeper if you want to. I don't need to at this point because we're not yet putting them in the ground. And I'm going to go ahead and fill our potting soil all the way around this pot. And I'm going to give it a little good shake in. There we go. That soil is going to sink when I wet it up, but that is a quick and easy way to pot up your tomatoes. Make sure you put that tag back in, and I would highly recommend only transplanting 1 plant at a time. That way we don't make a mistake, because everybody knows you don't want to go up to your tomato plant when you're expecting a beefsteak and get a grape tomato or a cherry tomato. We want a beefsteak off a beefsteak. In this case, we want to make sure our early girl is our early girl. So we're going to put her off to the side there. And this is going to go fairly quickly. So just like we do before, pull that tag, put that down, finger on either side, double squeeze. That will release. Then we can gently place that root ball down in the soil and then fill in from the side, rotating after every handful so we get that nice and centered up. We can shake that down. That's about right on our tomato. Stick that tag in there and move it off to the side. Now with these tomatoes, they're probably good in here for 3 to 4 weeks in containers this size. As they start to grow, we actually may want to put a bamboo stake in this pot and actually tie our tomato off to it so that it doesn't fall over. Now the other thing to remember is once you are ready to transplant out of your greenhouse, you want to make that transition slowly. Don't take them out on a really hot day, but instead take them out of your greenhouse on a cool day or in the morning and transition them out there at that time. Don't take them heat of the day outside because they're going to wilt and you're going to cause damage to tomato. So we'll set these off to the side. And we'll go ahead and plant up a couple more of these. Let's get our Romas in there. So this is going to go fairly quick. I can give it just a sprinkle more soil. Double squeeze, that container comes off. Cradling that root ball, put her in. And then we add our soils from the side, giving it a little bit of a shake or a shimmy. There we go, double tap, she's down, add that, and we are done. Okay, so in your home garden or in your home greenhouse, consider that you can go to the store and you can, if you have a greenhouse, buy your tomato starts early, and that way you're going to get the selection that you want. Because if you wait till it's the perfect time to put them out, invariably every greenhouse is always out of the variety you're looking for. So we had an opportunity today to go up to a local greenhouse that had a lot of vegetable starts ready. And one of the things they had with these tomatoes, and they encouraged you to put them in your greenhouse, because out here, yes, it is not yet time to put them outside. Okay, put this one in that. Shimmy and a shake. Shimmy and a shake. And I'm making sure I'm supporting that stem so nothing happens to it. In goes my tag, and there goes that tomato. All right, we're going to go ahead and give you an overhead view of this so you can see a little bit closer. So with this, you can see our level of our soil is about there. And we're going to make sure that we are going to cover that existing soil with a little bit of our new soil. That's going to make it a little bit better. So we're going to take that tag out, set it to the side, fingers on either side, and I line up those initial cotyledon leaves. I line them up with my fingers, so I'm not breaking those off. I'm going to give them all the opportunity to absorb energy. Okay, so there we go. We're cradling that root ball. I can turn it over, grasp that, carefully place it in our pot. Then I'm going to grab our soil that we're going to fill it with, and I'm just doing like a handful, sorting it to the side. I can bring some of that around if I need to, save a little bit on potting soil. Give it a tap, that's going to really seep that in, and then I'm going to remember to add my tag. Okay, we've got 2 more to do. Let's go ahead and do these full speed so you can see how that goes. Got our potting soil in there, just a little bit more. Pull our tag, line up with the cotyledons. Squeeze, root ball comes out. Place that down there. Add our soil. Give a shimmy and shake, tap, tap. Tag in, that one is done. Okay, we got to do this one more time. This is our very last tomato that we're going to do. It's our last Roma. Place that in there, and then we're going to add our soil. The other thing that's a benefit about having these in the greenhouse right now is we are going to be running our constant liquid feed. So all of these are going to be getting a premix of fertilizer every single watering. So that is going to allow them to grow better. So anyway, there you go. That is transplanting tomatoes into a little bit larger containers. So if you've got that greenhouse space available to you, I highly recommend taking advantage of that. Go ahead and get some early tomatoes that are available in your garden center. Get them planted up and then start feeding them some heavy fertilizer so you can get them out there as a bit larger plant for a little bit less cost. But there you go. There is our tomatoes for our season, all planted up and ready to go. We'll go put them in their space, give them some fertilizer water, and they'll be ready to go in just a few weeks. So there you go. There's a little bit of a way to get a bit of a head start on your tomatoes for the season. So go ahead and get them now. Get them in some containers. Get them in your greenhouse. Give them some water and fertilizer and watch them grow. And these are going to grow pretty quick. So by the time the outside temperatures staying above 50 degrees at night, and the soil temperature starts to warm up, these are going to be ready to go in the garden, and you're going to have those earlier tomatoes, which is, of course, is going to go better on your salad. Anyway, as always, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Ag Teacher Thoughts out.